Hey, hello, this is Andrea.
This is Nanette.
Here we are, we're back.
Yay!
And I got new glasses.
Yay!
Yay.
They make you look like you're the most fabulous thing I've ever seen. Okay. Okay. Lordy.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Anyway, guess what we're talking about?
I don't know.
70s
It's so
and 80s.
mystery. Yeah.
We're going to talk about what we remember, about the 70s and 80s. What is that face you're making?
Because you remember way more than I do, but it's okay. Okay.
You make it seem like I'm ancient. I'm only a year and a half older than you.
That's not the point. No, that's not the point of that at all. I just don't remember a lot of my childhood. It has nothing to do with how old you are.
Lucky you. Whenever I'm doing that, I'm getting close to the microphone. Here I am close to the microphone.
Why?
Anyway, what do you, first we'll start with you since you said you can't remember very much. I want to know what you remember. I don't mean about, okay, so first of all, we lived in Pennsylvania, excuse me, right outside of Philadelphia, and we were not rich. We were a little below middle class.
We weren't rich?
No. So some of the stuff we remember is going to be different than people who had money are going to.
Okay, that's true, because I remember we had it. This I've never seen in my life, especially with my own kids. We had a toy box, and if you opened the toy box, you could see everything that's in it, and it was just a few things. Like it wasn't
on the bottom, yeah.
Yeah, it was right on the bottom, and there was barely anything in it. Oh my God.
And it was both of our stuff. Well, we shared a room for a lot of different places we went. Well, what do you remember about the 70s and 80s? What do you remember about clothes and what people used to enjoy doing?
I remember I didn't have very nice clothes, and I got picked on all the time. I remember I had sneakers from Kmart, hence my obsession with clothing now. I mean, and shoes. I love shoes.
All right, I don't know what you were wearing. What about people were wearing? No, I don't mean what we were wearing.
Oh, in the 70s, weren't they wearing bell bottoms?
People were wearing bell bottoms, and I remember when the designer jean thing started, because it used to be there was just Wranglers and Levi's, and then the Kmart jeans. You know what I mean?
And Oshkosh B'gosh.
Well, yeah, those for little kids.
Oh.
But then they started having design. Jordache, Sassoon, Calvin Klein. There were the three I could remember.
Mm-hmm.
And all these commercials like, ooh, la la, Sassoon.
Sassoon.
Nothing gets between me and my Calvin Kleins. Remember that?
I have no comment on that one.
Yeah, that would be really rough because you need to wear something under your jeans. So.
Yeah, there's that too, but that's not exactly where I was going with it. You know my mind better than that. I remember, didn't they have those platform shoes too?
Yes.
Yeah, the weird
and wide lapels. The wide lapels.
Yes. And crazy hair, like
the 70s you're talking about. You either had long hair or it had lots of curls in it.
Curls. I'm thinking of the curls. I'm thinking of the crazy curls, short curly hairs.
Oh yeah, there was like short hair for a while because there was that ice skater that everybody wanted to look like.
No.
No? They'd say, I want my hair to look like, I can't remember her name.
Jewel. It's not a J?
Maybe.
I feel like it's a J. Or G, I don't, wow. I can see her. But I can see her face.
But some people wanted to have their hair look like, remember Charlie's Angels? they'd want to have those wings.
The Farrah Fawcett hair. Yes.
I also put that when in the 70s, thin lips were in, and I always had like a thin lip up top, and this one used to, the bottom used to be a lot thicker than it is. Like it's not as thick as it used to be.
Yeah, we do. We have thin lips.
And
Yours look just like Dad's, though. You got that.
And I used to try and make my lips look thinner. I used to go like this. I would. So
Should have pinched them up, pinched them.
Yeah, I used to go, yes, I have tiny lips. They're tiny.
They are. You remind me of Dad. But I never noticed that until you pointed it out. But yes, that was a thing. Just like the Twig, was it 70s where Twiggy was the model and she was so skinny and she had no boobs.
Like a 9-year-old boy, basically.
Yeah, she was really skinny.
To her.
It's not offensive. It's not to be offensive, but it's when you eat that little and you don't have plastic surgery, that's kind of how it works, you know? Like it's not normal to be skinny and have huge. I know that there are people that do, so don't write anything below. I know that happens in some cases, but in most cases it's more, and I think that's happened through the ages too. It's like bodies are so different than they used to be, even starting out. You know what I mean? Don't you agree with that?
Babies are bigger now.
I think they are.
But people used to wear jumpsuits. I remember I used to try and look like Chrissy from Three's Company. She would have her hair in these little ponytails out to the side like this, way up here.
Oh my God, you did! That's hilarious.
I tried to do that a couple times.
Oh my God. I wanted to be Madonna in the 80s, not the
Yeah.
I don't remember the 70s really.
Well,
But
I put about the 80s that people wanted to dress like, hold on, where did I put it? Madonna, Cyndi Lauper, and Miami Vice. Like guys would want to try and dress like Miami Vice. Remember that?
Don John, yep.
Like the colored shirt and the.
I was all about the Madonna movement. Yeah. But also I wanted to say something else. I remember, I think it was the 70s when we lived in Collingdale on that, well, I don't know the name of the street where Margaret lived.
Avenue or Spruce Street?
Where the same street Margaret lived on.
That's Lafayette Avenue.
Okay, Lafayette. So I remember you're gonna cut this out. I know you are. I remember this was your idea. I remember you put a glass window on the bed, and
that was your idea.
No way.
Yes, we were playing this game where you had to close your eyes, or you'd have a thing over your eyes, and you had to touch something and guess what it was. And Nanette had me stand on this.
No, you made me jump on
I
it.
don't know what it is, and she said jump up and down. Well, then if it was my idea, how come I'm the one that jumped up and down on it and has a scar on their toe?
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
How come when I kicked the window open, I didn't get any scars? I'm badass. That's all. I kicked
everything we did, I got in trouble for.
She would get for what? I got my butt whooped for kicking that window open, and you locked me out the house.
You know, Mom doesn't remember that she and Dad spanked us with a leather belt.
Well, I remember. My booty remembers.
I remember, and it was thick leather because my dad used to do leather working. It was usually my mom that spanked us. Yeah.
No, Dad whooped my butt for that stupid door, and you locked me out. You locked me out the house. You would not let me in, and I kicked through the door. So I thought that was a smart option.
I don't remember why. We were in elementary school. How am I supposed to remember? And in case you're wondering, yes, we had zero supervision.
I mean, obviously, we just got beat later, and I was in first grade or kindergarten. I was tiny. I was a young kid.
This is going from remembering the 70s and 80s to remembering childhood traumas.
But wasn't that our 70s and 80s? I mean, what else is there?
I was gonna say there was a lot of roller skate rinks. See, I have the picture right there.
Yes, and what's that one song that always played when we went there? And it's you, babe. Do 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 do
Yeah,
do do.
giving me the courage and the strength I need. Believe that it's true. Babe, I love you.
Love you. Oh my god.
I was gonna
Yes.
say, if you want to know about how music changed through the 70s and 80s, all you have to do is look at the Jackson 5 and Michael Jackson, because they went through all the phases, like from the old 50s, 60s rock up through the disco, up through the pop and stuff like that. I remember when saccharin first came out, well, at least when it was available in products, and it was in the little pink Sweet and Low. And the first diet soda that I remember is Tab, T-A-B, and it tasted.
When did that come out? What do you mean? I didn't know we.
You don't remember that? Yeah. Okay. You remember Sen Sen? Have you ever had Sen Sen?
Fen Fen?
Sen Sen. It was this little packet, a paper packet, and it had these little brown or black kind of pellets in it, and you would just chew on one, and it kind of tasted like anise or something like that. It was kind of like a mint candy type thing that was supposed to freshen your breath.
No, I don't remember that.
Okay. Somebody used to give me some in 7th grade. I must have had bad breath.
I was gonna say maybe they were.
I remember there were still in the 70s and even the early 80s, there were still soda fountains or ice cream fountains. And what that would be is usually it would be in a drugstore or in Woolworths, and it would be a place where you could go. That's like a little lunch counter. You could get a sandwich for really cheap, and they charged you by the kind of sandwich it was. Like a BLT cost less than a turkey sandwich, and a grilled cheese cost less than a BLT. Like everything was a different price, and it was really cheap. And you'd get soda from the soda fountain, and they'd have ice cream floats. Do you remember those?
Yeah, like at what the place was downtown in Darby, right?
Yeah, that one place. That's not the only place I've been to, but that one was at the Woolworths.
Yeah, Woolworth. Okay.
I don't think there's any Woolworths around it. Well, I think they might still be in Europe. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was going to say about salad dressing. So it used to be there was like 2 kinds of salad dressing. You either had vinegar and oil or you had French dressing. That was it. And then they started having fancy stuff, like they'd start having Hidden Valley Ranch, where you'd be in that powdered packet and you had to add it to something. And then they'd start having different kinds. I think Wishbone was the first one that had all these different kinds of dress. Oh, and also, do you remember soft soap? It was like the first brand of hand soap that wasn't bar soap.
Oh yeah.
And I remember when it came out that most people, like in our price category of, like, we didn't have it. We didn't have soft soap when it came out. And we were like, that's just a waste of money. It's just watered down soap. It doesn't last as long as a bar soap, but I guess it's handier.
And look at us now. Everyone has.
Now we pay for water in a bottle, so.
Yeah, now we have to pay. That's another good point about the 70s and 80s. You could drink the water out of your tap.
I drink it out of my tap, but I drink it from a filtered thing.
Yeah, no, but we could do it without a filter. And you know. It
still tasted bad. It had that chlorine taste.
Yeah, but I think it was a lot cleaner than it
I
is
think
now.
you just were used to it because you didn't have, like, the only
Any
bottled
other
water
choice?
when we were kids was Evian and Perrier. And that was like from Europe, because over in Europe, when they drink water, most of the time they drink the kind with bubbles in it.
Bubbles, yep.
Yeah. They don't drink like water like we do. They get their liquids from other places. I was gonna say there was a lot of neon colors in the 80s
Yes.
and jelly shoes. Those
I
things-
loved it. I love those.
You know what I was thinking about jewelry? Well, I'm wearing hoop earrings right now, but there used to be these big thick hoop earrings. And you would either buy a silver chain or a gold chain, and you'd have your initial on it, or you'd buy a gold or silver ring that had your initial on it. Like that was
I had both.
that was
I had an N. What happened to I had a gold N ring?
I don't know. I remember
Stole
that.
it. Huh?
Now these are all things we bought for ourselves when we were teenagers and had jobs, right? Right.
Or a boyfriend. I think my boyfriend bought me the N ring. And then I also had the charm. I don't know where any of that is. It's gone now.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's in one of those boxes you left at my house. No?
No.
What I have here.
What?
I have a box of items to show. Maybe I should turn off the background. Hold on, let me figure this out. I have a box of some things that are from the 70s and 80s.
How do you? I keep nothing, I guess.
Not
I
a
don't
lot
have
of things, but for some reason I keep weird hair things, and I have something from the 80s. What do you think it's going to be?
a scrunchie.
Nope.
Oh my God, banana clip. I remember those. I had such a hard time getting those to work.
Yeah, wait a minute. I got to pull it apart like this, and then you would put it under your hair and then up and then across.
Watch
like
out, you're
this.
gonna start a trend. I know. I had such a you have to
It
pull
would
your
kind
hair
of
up.
look like a weird mohawk or something. But yeah, I have that. And then for Star Trek, they used one for Geordie's visor. So. You remember when our youngest aunt went to California and Washington State and then came back and brought us stuff?
Nope. But go on. Oh my God, you have the dog.
I have the dog, and it's like the old kind of stuffing that, I don't know if you can hear it. It sounds like really tightly packed paper and sawdust or something. And
Okay.
it feels velvety. I don't know. Like it like looked like a French dog to me when we got it. I don't know. I also wanted to say, where's my chapstick in here? I wanted to say watches were smaller back then. So like, here's a watch that I have now, right? Like, I don't wear watches a lot.
Yes,
I ruin
I
them.
remember them. Yeah.
So let me show you the ones from when I was younger. They got progressively bigger. So here's one of the oldest watches I have. This is still bigger than Mom's watch from when she was a teenager.
I remember that. I remember that watch. Yeah.
Then I have, the next one is this one. So look at the two of them.
Yeah.
Timex, by the way, takes a look and keeps on ticking. I think Bob gave me this one.
Yeah.
Okay, so for a comparison,
You keep everything. Oh my God.
I have a hard time getting rid of stuff.
I know. I've tried to
I've
help
got
you.
memories in this little watch. There's some memories in there.
What? I think I have something. Hold that thought. Let me go
Okay.
look. I have something. I have
What?
something from the 70s. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Can you see it? Do you see
Tiny
it?
ring?
It's my baby ring.
Oh, you have a baby ring.
I have a baby ring. Look, I can't even get it on my pinky.
Yeah, I think that's dangerous putting rings on babies.
It was a thing though. Let's talk about that. It was a thing back
Well,
then.
remember there used to be bracelets that would have the baby's name on it, or it would just say baby. There would be a blue one.
The parents buy baby rings. It's a thing. I don't think we wore it. I think they buy it and put it in your baby book or whatever. I didn't have a baby book. Anyway, you don't have yours?
No, I have a spoon. I have a silver spoon that a jeweler in the town gave to Mom, and I think they were just giving them to every baby that was born in that town that year, to try and get people to come into the store. I don't think it's solid silver, but it's like this small.
Yeah.
It's really tiny. I have that somewhere. I don't think I ever ate off.
I mean, yeah, you're not supposed to.
I have these things. Somebody gave them to me. I don't know. I can't remember who gave it to me. If it was one of my friends or
what.
But I used to love rainbows and unicorns.
Do you know, wait, do you know that when we started the video, I wanted to say, when you said we were talking about the 70s and 80s, I wanted to say it wasn't all rainbows and unicorns. That's why that came to my mind. It wasn't all rainbows and unicorns, but we wished it was. I still love rainbows and unicorns. Yeah, go on.
So here's one of them. I don't know if you can see it. I'm not good at holding this stuff.
It's okay.
I have a bunch of them. I have ones that are little heads.
Oh my God, I remember that. You made that. Didn't you make that with bacon in the oven?
I don't think so. I think you're thinking of those window catchers. Those
yeah.
We used to do.
You made one of those.
These all have like a hole in the top of them so you could make a bracelet or something. I honestly don't know where they came from. So I have 1, 2, 3, 5.
That's another thing from the 70s and 80s. What's it called? Something and bake? Making. We would bake. We would put these. You'd put these jewel. Am I thinking of this right?
Hold on. You get a cookie sheet and then you put down. I think we put down. I don't know what we put down. And then you put down this metal frame, and then you put these little glass pieces in it, and then you'd melt it in the oven. I don't know. It was like to make sun catchers. You could get really small kits of it.
We love doing that too.
I used to make macrame stuff in the 70s. Remember that? Like I made a plant holder for Mom, and I made a weird wall hanging.
Well, I used to sew and do weird stuff too, and then I became the feminist, which is I can
be feminist.
Which is there's nothing wrong with sewing. I know I have something I want you to sew when you visit. The feminist of the 80s is different than the feminist of today. But yes, I bucked against anything that said you are a woman, go sit in the kitchen and make that kind of thing. Now I do that stuff now. You kind of get over it no matter what. You find yourself and you say, you know what? I am what I am, and I am not here to be, this or that, but I got to cook. I got to eat. Hell, everyone's got to eat.
Yeah, we all got to eat.
Yeah.
So the last thing I was going to show is that this isn't the one that I had as a kid, but I had an alarm clock like this.
I remember that.
Now this is not from the 70s, it's from the 50s, but we had stuff from the 50s, and this is the kind of alarm clock that you have to wind every day, and then you set it and then it goes ding, ding, ding. It's really loud. And this is what the back looks like.
You should give that to your nephew. He could use one of them.
I bought this for myself for nostalgia.
I bought this. I bought it. Let's go to Boston. We can buy some stuff there too. We can.
Well, that's the thing is that our dad was from Massachusetts, and he lived in New York for a long time, and then he was in the military, and he could speak German, which is weird. I mean, it's weird that our dad could remember that long, because he was still speaking German when we went to Disney. But
he didn't speak Italian.
No, he didn't learn.
That's weird.
He's in Germany. So Dad had like this weird combination of accents. He'd say different words the way they were said from different parts of the country.
Yeah, because New York, Warsh. You always say Warsh.
Yeah, Warsh. Like, so sometimes I say stuff the way that Dad said things.
Yeah.
And it's confusing. And sometimes I say things from the South because I lived in Alabama for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing I was going to say about this is they started having these clocks in the 70s that were like, would have the numbers go across, but the thing would flip. Like it would flip from the 1 to the 2. You remember that? It would be like a piece of plastic or metal that would flip over. And you'd have to like turn it on the side to put it to where you wanted it at. Those were the kind that was around in the 70s. I just happened to have this kind. And then in the 80s, I think they started having digital, right? But it was the digital where there was just like I don't know how to explain it. There was something that moved in it. There was a light there and then something moved around. Remember those?
Yes. Yes. I remember, what were those phones from the 80s too? I always wanted, did I even ever get one?
Phone? No, you wanted the little.
The one that was like bright pink and hot pink and.
Sorry, we're ordering Chinese food. Bright pink and hot pink. And did it have the spin? Yeah, we used to have the spin dial for phones. Remember that?
Remember that? You remember how hard it was to? Yeah, you would have to redial a number over and over again. Boy, I will tell you what, I watched
and get it all the way to the thing.
Did you ever watch? They do that now. They try to get. They tell kids to dial a phone number on one of those, and there's.
I've never seen that. I never seen them try to do that.
It's hilarious to watch because if you don't know, you don't know. Like you have no. I mean, it's just like us. The first time we tried to do it, you don't know. You have to do it. No, you just like okay, blue, blue, blue. Nope, that didn't work, honey. And then how about the cable box? Like when we first got cable.
All right. Well, what about before the cable box?
See, I don't remember that.
We only had 3 channels. So it was UHF and VHF. There was 1 or 2 channels on the other one. I don't remember which one's the regular one. So there was ABC, CBS, NBC. And then on the other thing, there was
PBS,
public broadcasting. And then there was something like, I don't remember what it was called, but it was like, you'd watch old movies on the weekends on there. Anyway, I was going to say about the TV channels is that they would go off at like 11 o'clock at night. Like
to the Star Spangled Banner, right?
Yeah, they're
I remember
like
that
a picture of the flag, and then you hear the Star Spangled Banner, and then it went. There was just like this test pattern there till the morning, and then there'd be news in the morning.
Just like on Poltergeist, if you watch Poltergeist, you'll see it. They do that on Poltergeist and use it to make it scary somehow. But and then we got, I don't remember that as much, but I remember when we got the cable boxes, and I think it's funny because you tell your kids, could you imagine if you had to get up every time you had to change a channel? Huh? My kids were like, they couldn't turn the TV off and lost the remote. And I was like, there's always a button on the TV. No, there's not. There's always a button on the TV. And they bet me. And it was hard to find on the TV, but I found it. So Jackie did that earlier because I told her about it. And I was like, oh, I'll find it. I'll give you $5. Okay. Don't tell me that because I'll find the button. Okay. There's a button on every TV.
Yeah, a lot of the newer ones, it's like under the front of it.
It was like 3 little buttons underneath I had to play with. But
wait a minute, how'd you do it? Did you do it like this, Maddie?
I did it like this. I did it like this.
Did it like this. I shouldn't leave that in. Should I?
Maybe you should.
What was it? Well, for one thing, we didn't have cell phones, and we used to buy walkie-talkies. Remember that? That was
we thought, that was cool to us. You could go all the way down the street.
We weren't talking about anything interesting. It'd be like, there's an oak tree here. Over. Well, what is your arrival? What is your 6? What is your 10? We would just make stuff up. Breaker 19, where are you coming from? I'm coming from down the street.
But we spent a lot of time outside too and hanging out. And I spent a lot of time. I mean, I think You did too, because of, well, what we had going on. But I spent a lot of time in my own imagination, you know, had an amp and a microphone. And I think Lou helped me get it. I don't know. It was used. It was a used amp.
Mhm.
So that screams of mom.
Hey,
Probably got it.
it's good to get used stuff, you know, save the environment.
Anyway, so I had that and I would use that to escape. I serenaded the whole freaking neighborhood. They probably loved me. I mean, I sang okay, but I did sing off key quite a few times. I mean, I had to teach myself how to sing. So it's not like we were going to get any singing lessons or anything. So, but sometimes, you know, when you're learning to sing, and then it was back in the 80s where there was so many of those songs where people kind of scream sang.
Yeah.
And that causes you really to go off key. So I sang a lot of those songs off key. A lot of them I won't even sing now, because when you learn something off key, you're going to keep singing. It's a lot of work to change that. Right? Yeah. Yeah. But that's what I do every day after school. I would turn my amp on and my microphone, and I would pretend I was singing for an audience, you know.
Well, we used to tell stories too. And play games, like the whole neighborhood would play games outside until the street lights came on. That was in the summer. Street lights come on, it's time to go home.
Yeah. Which is really early. In the north, the street lights come on around what, 8:30?
I mean, in the summer it's 9, I think.
Okay. Yeah. That's what, well, I won't say that because, well, that we were locked out a lot of times anyway. We couldn't go home.
When we were little kids, my mom would send us out and say, don't come back till dinner time. And she'd lock the screen door. Remember that?
Yes, I don't understand that. And if we did that today, we'd go to jail.
And she wasn't working at the time. Like Dad was working and Mom was at home. So I don't know. And then when we were teenagers, we weren't allowed to leave the house.
Or go to our rooms.
Yeah. If I wanted to go to my room to study.
What are you doing up there?
What are you doing up there? Come down here so I can see you.
I don't know.
The entertainment we had in our rooms was listening to the radio. Oh, when you would wait all night just to hear one song, and then you'd try to tape it on. You'd have one tape in there that every time the song came on that you wanted, you pushed record real quick. Here it comes, so I can listen to it later.
And you would seriously have it queued up, and you would be so mad because you'd push record and it was 2 chords in of the song, and you're like, dang it, I missed it again.
Well, if the song was premiering, it'd be like, Billy Joel's new song will be premiering at 7 p.m. tonight. So you're ready for it, right? You push the button, but they talk like halfway into the person starting the singing.
And at the end.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's because they knew people were going to record.
Yeah, they were just messing with us. That's another thing. We'd have our mixed tapes. It's nothing like now, right? You have to, hold on, I got this song I want you to hear.
Oh, you're right on your phone.
Nope. Beep. Nope. I mean, that's
literally. Yeah. Well, we used to write down the number because there's a number counter on the tape player, and you could write down the numbers to where each song started.
Or you could put a line on it and put the name.
I never did that. That's
oh, really?
An idea.
It is. It's a little late, though. I mean,
hey, do you have Netflix?
Yeah.
Have you seen I think it's called like Archive 81, something like that. Archive something. Mm-mm. It's a really weird show, but I mean, it's got supernatural kind of stuff happening. I think you'd find it interesting. But one thing that I find really interesting is that the guy is the main character. He's somebody that he restores old media, like old film, old tapes, and it's interesting to watch him do the different things and use the different equipment. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I think you'd like it. It's like a mystery, and it's weird. So
Andrea was asking me about that yesterday because I ordered I ordered the Soldier magazine from when I was in the Soldier show.
Mhm.
I didn't know they gave me the whole year's worth. I have two books of it. Anyway, there's two really good pictures of, well, there's one really good picture of me and the other one is iffy, and an article. And he said, Mom, where is that tape? Because he said he used to do the dances from the beginning to the end. I mean, if I jumped off the stage, he jumped off the bed. It was the cutest thing ever, okay? And I said, well, that's a VHS tape. So can you still get VHS to watch?
Players, yeah.
Okay.
What do you,
I'd
do
like
you have the tape? Because I can see if I have it.
I have the tape. I'd like to have it remastered to a DVD, but I'm not sure where to take that. I'll figure it out. I'll look it up. But yeah, I have the tape somewhere. I don't know right now where it is because I still have things packed up, but I don't know.
Well, makeup was different back then. At first, you just got eyeshadow by itself, one single one or two of them, and then all of a sudden, in the beginning of the 80s, they had these ones that would be shaped like an eye, so it would show you where to put the different parts. Remember? And
Yes,
you either got makeup from the drugstore or you got it from an expensive department store. There was nothing in between.
Yeah, and it was very if you look at the Breakfast Club, the very dark eyeliner and stuff was very popular, and then it was the neon colors.
Mm-hmm.
Remember
and a
that?
lot of blush. There was a lot of blush.
Even the mascara was neon. The mascara was neon. The eyeliner was neon. The eyeshadow was neon. And we had to have all the. I know I did. You didn't wear a lot of makeup. I would go to school and put makeup on and try to take it off before I got home.
I'm not good at makeup. Look, I put on makeup today. Tell me what you think.
It looks fine.
You think so? I need to get a different. Oops. I need to get a different foundation. I was out of foundation. I had to borrow some of Ray's, and it was all.
See, I don't use it.
I
use foundation.
I have so many mismatching colors on my face.
Oh, red spot.
That's why I like to wear it. So anyway, I know you mostly just wear eyeliner now, right?
Yeah, and I burn my face off when it gets too mismatching. I do.
That's not.
I mean, it works, huh?
Bob Dylan. I said that's not for me.
It's not for many people. It's very painful. Yeah.
I even tried using hyaluronic acid for a while. I even used a low amount of it, and I did it after my moisturizer, like they say, and I was still having trouble with it. It was still irritating my skin. So I was like that. My skin is so sensitive. I wish it wasn't.
Mine is too, yeah. That's why I just do my facial. I mostly just do facials.
Yeah.
And,
70s and 80s, we used to, well, in the 70s, we went to the drive-in a lot, and you just paid one price to get in, and there'd be 3 movies. So there'd be a kid's movie in the beginning or a cartoon. Then there'd be like a family style movie, and then there'd be like an R-rated type style movie. There weren't exactly those ratings back then, but then, your parents would try to get you to lay down in the back seat for the third one.
Which I would gladly. I don't want to watch. Oh, wait, real quick with the makeup marshmallow lipstick. Remember the marshmallow lipstick?
Oh,
like it was
Kissing Potion. Remember Kissing Potion?
Yeah, Kissing Potion. And then also when the neon stuff was popular, it was like almost a very light pink, like a marshmallow or a white.
I remember Wet and Wild had a lot of different weird colors. Like you could get purple lipstick, and I used to get blue nail polish all the time, which is normal nowadays, but back then people looked at you like,
yeah, that was weird. Blue or black.
You had
people
pink
did not.
or red, and that was it.
Yeah, people did not wear blue or black, or even to put white over your whole nail. Like
only really rich people had French manicures back then.
Yes,
so. I mean that. Yeah, there wasn't all the fancy nail places you could go to. What do you guys remember from the 70s and 80s? If you're old, remember those things. Oh, I remember the ice cream man. I mean, we still get an ice cream man now, but it used to happen more back then. And we only had enough money. We had like 15 cents to get the lick a, I used to call it lick a stick. What was it called? It was like the pouch, and it had the candy stick, and you licked it and put it in the powder.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Dipsticks. Is
I
it
don't
called
know.
dipsticks?
I've always called it lick it stick, but that might not be the name of it.
I
Because I
don't
make
know
up
either.
names for things. So.
But you can sometimes get that at nostalgic like candy stores
Oh
now.
yeah, I've had it as an adult, but it's not the same as when you're a kid and you never get sugar, and you're like, lick it stick.
I know. I know. Yeah, and we could walk to school. When we walked to school, remember that little store on the way, and they would have like penny and 5-cent candies you could
Yeah.
buy. You can't do that anymore. There's
Yeah.
not little.
And
And then the
I remember
hair.
sodas were
The hair was
25
big in
cents.
the 80s.
Huh?
Huh?
I remember when
Our hair
sodas were
was
25
huge.
cents for the can. What do you
Oh
think
yeah.
about your hair?
It was huge in the 80s,
Oh
remember?
yeah, it was huge.
Yeah. Yeah, what do you guys remember?
It's like after 6 now. Did you know that?
Okay, yeah, we should end it then.
Okay.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Memory lane. Well, I hope you're all having a good day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.